10 horsemen, it's the sign of the times. Not the song. Are we on?
I think we're on. I think we're live.
You've turned us on?
Yep.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Evening.
Good evening. Good night.
Yep.
Whenever you're watching. We are thrilled to be here. My name is John Lewis.
Dan Hausman. A lot of people call me Millhouse.
People call me
And
Lewis.
we are together.
Again.
BTR. Here we are.
Beyond the Rotunda. Good. Hello.
Yep.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for feedback. We're getting feedback left and right.
Loving the feedback. Getting some great shout outs.
We get text messages. We get Facebook messages. We bump into people at Wegmans.
We do. I bump into people on the streets that are enjoying it. And,
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being a part of this and, participating with us.
My friend Brett just found me from Wegmans.
Give him a shout out.
And he said, hey, I wasn't watching. And then I had a spare moment and I binge watched. And he loved the old footage because these college or high school students worked at Wegmans.
Oh,
he's like, I worked with all
nice
of these people. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
He's like, I remember them.
Really
they were all at Wegmans as teenagers.
Did. I mean, not everybody, but if you didn't work at Pizza King, you probably worked at Wegmans.
That's very true.
Yeah. My first job was at the Evening Tribune. I was a custodian at the Tribune.
I thought you were a paper boy.
No, I wasn't a paper boy. I cleaned the place.
Okay.
They gave me a key and everything. I was the janitor. And so there was like a lineage of that position. It was Sean Hoyt had it first, and then I ended up with it. And he went back there, and Matt Haley had it for a while, and then I went back there, and there's a bunch of different cats that took that position.
And Dan, I've never heard that. I was also a janitor in my first job. That was at the radio station that I ultimately worked at later in life.
You're going to become the manager of it.
Yes. And
from rags to riches.
I cleaned every trash can, vacuumed, and cleaned the bathrooms, and then I started learning how to program the computer. Fred was the name of the computer.
Oh, the computer
had a name, nice. Fred, and it stood for something, F-R-E-D. But
what's the name of the Hal, right? Hello, Hal.
Yes.
Is that like Space Odyssey?
But this is really weird, too, because it really, no one will know. Fred is gone, and you probably could never figure out what type of machine, but it was an automation machine early on. It took about an hour and a half to automate a day at first. Then once you knew how to do it, you could automate the whole day in a couple minutes. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you were the guy that kept playing that same song every 45 minutes.
It was reel to reels.
It wasn't even me.
We were loading reel to reels for the music and loading 8-track carts, or literally they're 1-track carts for all the commercials. And they were loaded in like a 38. There were 30 carts in all of these spindles.
And this is 1990...
98, 97, 96. Actually, probably...
Still using that old school stuff.
Yep. It's gone now. All MP3.
Yeah, right. Everything's computer run.
Yeah.
Ain't like it used to be, folks.
So, yes, we went off on a tangent already. That's also the feedback that we get, and we're okay with that we talk a lot about.
We do. It's a side conversation here.
Hey, it's good to see you, Dan.
It's good to see you, too. Yeah, it's been a minute. We haven't done an episode in a while, and then that last one I had sat on for a minute, too.
Yeah.
So it was a couple weeks late.
When's your episode? I was like, Dan's working on it. I'm not working.
Life's moving fast. I don't know. You can see. Check our Facebook posts. We put big news a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Can we talk about that now?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we're...
Dan is with child.
Well, my wife. We're expecting another child, so it's really
congratulations, Dan, and your wife. I don't know if we want to say her name on here.
We say Rachel's name.
Rachel. Okay, we want to make sure. And don't think that I was like, what is his wife's name? Rachel.
Yes. What's that again?
No, I'm just,
what's her face?
Does she want to be in the spotlight or not?
Well, she hasn't been a guest yet.
Right.
We'll see. Maybe with the new baby we can get her on. But yeah, we're going to
hold that baby up on the. But maybe that can be a live episode.
No.
Baby Hausman.
No.
And Dan, I know we know the sex of the baby.
Yeah, we're having a boy. We can tell people.
Boy. Okay, great.
Boy. Well, that's what they told us in the house, but we never know. They told us that Addie was going to be a boy, and she clearly is a girl. So, well, we were trying not to find out, and it slipped out at the last minute. But then, this time around, our doctor, Dr. Ruber, was super cool. He told us that he just instinctively refers to all babies as just like a he or whatever. I don't know why, but it's just something that he defaults back to. So
he doesn't want to say it.
But this time around, no, we had the testing done and everything, so we're positive. So
yeah, baby boy on the way, and that you're excused for not editing footage.
It was a busy couple weeks.
I mean, I'm not having a child, and I wasn't editing footage, so
no. But you were busy yourself too. You've been busy.
Yeah. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to it. But that last episode was a good one. And then there at the end, we got the footage in from the softball.
Yes, ninth period.
Ninth period softball.
Probably BD day, let's say, softball, which was happening at the time. It was happening in real life as I drove past the high school.
That was legit. We can agree that was the best unit of high school gymnastics, right?
Yep,
softball
just on the turf. Do one lap, and then meet at home plate. And as you came into home plate,
fielder, batter, fielder. Yeah.
That was great. That was great.
Good stuff. And then at the end, I snuck in the footage that we had talked about during the episode of when Nick Campese came back to hand off the Battle of the Bands, which I realized the trophy for the Battle of the Bands was a wooden key.
A wooden key.
Purchased from the Salvation Army.
Yep. So we owned that for a year from 99 to 2000. And I know Dave Wolliver came back and handed that off to the next band. Now, I can't remember who that was, but
I have to
2000.
It was probably Rubber Soul.
Probably. Which Rubber Soul had their first gig at that Battle of the Bands.
I had reached out to, after that Battle of the Bands, there's some other footage, and so I reached out to Eric Carlin and shot him a little snippet of his performance, and so it was before Ethan Rainwater joined Rubber Soul, and it was before Kurt Johnson had joined it also, so it was Dominic on bass, which is pretty fun.
Dominic with Tony, his son.
Tony on drums. We
got to give these shout outs.
You got to give Tony a shout out. We
barely used this.
I know, we're not.
I haven't confirmed that Tony's ever watched an episode, but I'd like to think.
He's a subscriber.
He's subscribed
to the channel. I think he was our first subscriber, honestly.
Our first paying customer.
The Patreon. Hit the Patreon, folks. We haven't gotten
We'll show you the behind the scenes.
We haven't gotten there yet.
When we put our deodorant on before we get started, you can watch all that.
Probably the outtakes would be more interesting than what we're putting out most days. But yeah, it's adult content.
Yeah, it's an OnlyFans account.
No.
Yeah. That was great. The Battle of the Bands footage was awesome.
Yeah, there was other bands there. I'm trying to think. We had Kirk Out was Dave Pascoe's band.
Yes,
there is a full. I mean, he does "Staying Alive" in full falsetto.
Yes,
it's pretty.
Kirk Out. Mellifluous Cacophony.
Yeah, Gabe and Pat.
Yep, and Jim Todd. James Todd. Yep. Jim Todd.
Give another shout out.
Yeah. You've been talked about before. And then also Kurt and Mick Hornbeck.
Yep.
What was it called?
The Sexual Babes, I believe. Shout out to them, too.
The Sexual Babes.
Yeah, I think the next year I ended up doing a gig with, it was me and Trevor Ingalls and Brian Egger. And we were an album cover, but it was spelled anal bum cover.
Oh, damn. We've got to asterisk and delete this scene.
No, it was one of those skits from Saturday Night Live, the Sean Connery, right? Jeopardy. That's what it was. An anal bum cover for $1,000.
An album cover.
Yeah.
So Battle of the Bands. Those guys are still playing. A lot of them still playing out. Or pros, went to music schools.
Super pros, yeah. There's some real rock stars there.
On tour, and it's the concert season.
Speaking of concert seasons.
So that's what I've been up to.
It hits mid-May, and you won't see John again.
Yeah, I have a spreadsheet I've been sharing with those that I know go to concerts with me. There's about 50 on there that I have earmarked, but not tickets to all of them. I've been to 4 already. Have tickets to 2 or 3 more coming up, but 50 on the list.
Dude,
today is a Monday.
The beginning of June.
Yes, today is a Monday. I almost went to Zach Brown Band last night in Canandaigua, but the tickets were just a little too pricey. I've seen them twice.
But you did have a musical experience yesterday. Did you not?
Oh, yeah.
Did you not?
Yes, which was probably number 5. But, Flower City Trio featuring my friend Chris Murtha
from
drums.
Cast.
Yes.
Boo, 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 boo.
Yes. Married to a Hornell gal. Kat Murtha Crowley.
Kat,
or is it Kat Crowley Murtha? Is this her first shout out on the cast?
No, you shouted her out at the end of last week.
All right, I know she watches. Yep. And she was there enjoying with the twins and their daughter Josie.
Family shout out.
So that was fun. That was in Honeoye Falls, Honeoye Lake. But also in that trio, one of your favorite guitar players,
Paul McCardle.
Yeah, so I always talk to Paul.
All-time favorite guitar player.
I gave him your best. He said, "Love Millhouse."
Oh my gosh! Dude, one night he came to our house after, it was when he was playing in Funknut, but he came to my apartment, and I was living by myself, and Lennon had this little wooden guitar, right? It's a half, three-quarter guitar, quarter-size guitar.
Okay.
It's a real guitar. I mean, it's a Yamaha. It's really nice. And Paul picked that thing up and fell in love with it. And for like the next 3 hours, you could just like the most intense jazz shredding you have ever heard on this
brought it to life.
It looked like a toy, but I mean, it's not a toy. It's a real guitar. And yeah,
Paul
gosh, it was one of my favorite memories, dude. He is such an incredible guitar player. Shout out to one of my all-time favorite guitar players, Paul McCardle. And when I say all-time favorite guitar players, man, I'm like, I put that guy on the list with the best. Like, I would rather listen to him play guitar than most people.
Wow, I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I was going to say Eric Clapton, and I was like, "Ooh, hot take! Yikes!"
Excuse me, Dan. That's the English accent. So yeah, that was yesterday, and right before that, last week we saw the Beach Boys at Point of the Bluff Vineyards. That was my first time seeing the Beach Boys, which pretty much, Mike Love, one of the lead vocalists from the original Beach Boys, and Bruce Johnson, or maybe with a T, Johnston, I think, who was the one that brought Pet Sounds to England with him, like the test press.
Ooh.
And was in a hotel with McCartney and Lennon. He said they listened to it on repeat.
And then they went and wrote to Rubber Soul?
Sgt. Pepper.
No, so Sgt. Pepper, Rubber Soul was the catalyst to
Pet Sounds. Correct.
Okay.
And then he had Pet Sounds on his person. He was the newest member of the Beach Boys.
See, Mr. Piper, he didn't even take H&H.
he was the newest member of the band. He had it. They said Keith Moon heard it first when he hit England, and then they said, we've got some other friends waiting back at your hotel.
There's a couple blokes that want to hear it.
Yeah, Paul and John said, we've got to hear it. They went through it multiple times. Pretty cool. So Beach Boys, right before that, I'm going in reverse here. The Avett Brothers. Avett Brothers at CMAC, another great show. Missed the opener, who I'm hearing a lot about. Everyone was saying you needed to see her.
Sierra
Farrell. Missed her. And I see now she's got a duet with Lucas Nelson, like on Spectrum, on the Spectrum.
Boy, I love Lucas Nelson.
Yep. He's got his hair cut. But and then right before that is if you pronounce it, Hosier, Hosier. He was great. I don't know, but
where was that, Darien?
Yes, that was Darien. Darien, get your parking lot figured out. Let's do this. That was the worst part. The show was great, but I'm talking about like 2 hours plus before your vehicle moves. I'm literally every day, I'm like, boy, Red Hot Chili Peppers are going to be there. Chris Stapleton's going to be there this summer. I don't know if I dare go, because I can't take the parking lot.
I know I'm going to go to that Bert Kreischer show.
That's right. You mentioned that.
23rd, yeah. We're going from Buddy Dillon's birthday. It should be a fun time.
Yeah. Oh, I might go to that, but that's also
go with us.
That's also the same day as Ben Folds at Point of the Bluff Vineyards. 3:30 show. Their earlier shows.
I heard those are pretty intimate shows.
They are
pretty nice.
They are.
I have not been over there. But...
Oh, we got to get you there. Dan. Maybe to see Lake Street Dive.
Oh, that'd be great.
Friend adjacent, because Chris Murtha from the Flower City Trio went to music school and with the members of Lake Street Dive, so he's friendly with them.
The bass player from Lake Street Dive Lake Street Dive was opening for Michaela Davis in Southern Star with our buddy Kurt Johnson.
Yeah, so it's all these like ties and spindles.
Kurt, got me a shirt. Kurt
and
went
concerts.
Went to see Neil Young.
Love Earth. It's a Neil Young shirt.
Yep.
I have never seen Neil. Kurt said it changed him.
He did. If you haven't seen him since, he's got to bounce about. He's got to bounce about. There's a real life and a real air to him now. Yeah.
and let me throw Neil Young towards you. That if anyone knows where I can get my hands on a vinyl copy of the Mirror Ball album with Neil Young featuring Pearl Jam.
Do you have the Merkin Ball?
Not on vinyl.
Not on vinyl.
I have both CD discs. Yeah. But neither on vinyl. Ooh. Now, or Merkin Ball. Mirror Ball.
I've seen Neil a couple times. I did see Neil with Lucas Nelson in the Promise of
maybe at a Farm Aid?
Yep. Farm Aid. And that just crushed. But they did tour together. I mean, they did a couple.
That's right.
They were
his backing band.
Neil Young at that show. He was so angry. But then I saw him in Philly when he came out with one of his more recent albums. So that was probably 5-6 years ago, longer than that even. It was the one that had Ramada in on it. he played 9 songs in a 2-hour and 20-minute set.
Get out of here.
And 7 of them were on an unreleased album.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Neil. It was full on Neil.
Like, now I would have to guess the other 2 maybe Cortez if you're getting a long
Nope, it was
show.
Like a Hurricane.
Okay.
And Pocahontas.
Okay.
I think was what the other one was. Yeah.
All right.
But Like a Hurricane was the big one that everybody went nuts for.
Neil's married to Daryl Hannah now.
Oh, they got married?
Is that Splash or A Fish Called Wanda? Right? She was. She had the flipper.
We're getting out there today.
All right, let's.
Yeah, so I got a concert coming up. I'm going to see Brandy Carlisle.
Oh,
yeah,
she's
really
great. At
CMAC.
CMAC.
Yeah, I've seen her.
All right, I'll be busy
already,
that
so
night.
I'm really excited about that.
I saw her at CMAC. The only time I've seen her opening at that point for Ray LaMontagne. And I've said this many times. I still do like Ray, but she stole the show that night. Loved her.
Ray released new music today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to check that out.
Sure did. That sounds like a really awesome show.
Yep.
We're going to go see Kids Bop and Darian, too. We've got that planned for later in the summer.
Now, he says we, that's family we, not this podcast.
Me and John. Yeah, we're going to go see Kids Bop.
Kids Bop.
It is the most impressive karaoke show you will ever see. That's funny. You just went into a little Hanson there. Hanson's playing a free show
in Syracuse.
Syracuse for a Taste of Syracuse. I believe this upcoming weekend.
Boy, I could go to that, but there's a chance I might be going to Dead and Company at the Sphere in Vegas. By the time you're all watching this, that will have been decided.
I saw some of our friends of the cast were just out there too.
Yes,
yeah,
friends of the cast who are also on the cast.
Yeah, there's footage of
Steve Levingston was out there. Was he there for both, or was he there for Fish?
Fish, I don't know. Chevy, did you see the Dead Company too?
No, we've got to get him. And
Rich was out there.
Rich, yes, they were there for Fish.
Yep.
P-H-I-S-H.
Yeah,
I don't want people to think I don't know.
Fully aware of what Fish is.
Oh, me too. Me too. I'm not a poser.
Yeah. Now that Sphere stuff just looks absolutely insane. Like the footage that's coming out of it seems like overstimulating.
I've heard that.
Yep.
And Andy actually wrote on Facebook, sorry to steal your thunder here. He said he thought he knew what to expect and he had no idea when he got in there.
I'd like to experience it for myself though, just to find out. Yeah.
So
there's
we'll
a
see
lot
about
coming
that
up this summer. We got a lot going on.
And Dan, you've got your shirt. My shirt was a little tribute to some other summer activity. Gus Macker Toilet Bowl. Yes, I'm a Gus Macker Toilet Bowl champion.
We will do an American Standard.
Yeah, that's a whole separate episode.
Maybe a series.
Yeah, maybe we can get those members in. That'd be great.
That would be a requirement.
That'd be great. And but yes, this shirt, you don't get this in Hornell. I ordered this like right from the website.
You special ordered your own toilet bowl?
So, the Gus Macker had started in the state of Michigan.
Oh.
And this company, this is the Mitten State. Maybe a little mitten here. These shirts are so comfortable and soft. So something you won't be getting in Hornell this summer for the second year.
Yeah,
just
Macker.
Low volunteers. And I had volunteered in the past, but not as a referee. I don't even know how to do that, but I would.
Infrastructure-wise, I don't think we can handle it this summer anyways.
That's true.
We have
that would have happened anyway.
Construction going on downtown, which looks like the sidewalks are getting poured and things are coming together.
Day by day.
Movie theater the other day and had to go in the side door. It was
interesting.
Yeah,
side door.
Off the plank and go in the side door.
Arr.
Yeah. But that was cool.
And the fountain is there.
Fountain or splash pad. What is it? Who knows? I think it could be either or.
Whatever you want to be, just don't have diarrhea.
Yeah. When you go there,
you got to close it down.
Or you're going to get it if you didn't have it.
And that's something I remember the last time I was at Disney years ago, they had something that was squirting and it said the whole thing was surrounded by signs that said, if you have diarrhea, don't get in the fountain. Don't go near the fountain if you have diarrhea. If you have diarrhea, use a restroom.
I hope that those signs don't pop up in my neighborhood, man. I don't need those diarrhea signs all over the place.
You just want to do what you want to do.
Yeah,
freedom.
In the privacy of my own home, I want my diarrhea. Yeah, good God. Anyways, there's a lot of stuff happening. I know our friends down at the Hornell Public Library, I reached out today just to see, hey, what do you guys got going on? Maybe something we could talk about on the cast. Our friend Eva sent us over sent us a list of things they got going on. It's coming up. If you don't mind me reading off a couple of these things real quick. So on June 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., the Hornell Public Library will be doing an event for their Pride Community Art class. And so come and talk and learn about the history and experiences of the LGBTQ community, and then create your own painting or collage inspired by the discussion. It's great they're doing that. Hiking 101 discussion group with Steve Markle on Wednesday, June 12th at 6 p.m. If you want to talk about, tips for hiking, maybe some trails to hit around the area, he's the person to talk about with that, all the local Finger Lakes trails. They're going to do an event on June 10th. It's about a Muslim holiday, and I don't even want to try to mispronounce it, and then it'll be a thing, and I'm too self-conscious to do that. So it is the Festival of Sacrifice that they'll be talking about. An annual Muslim pilgrimage. There's a lot of newer families coming into town, and this is a way for people that have questions or would like to get involved in that to come on down and partake. It's exciting. I think that the library is doing some really progressive, open-minded things, as they should, and that's what libraries are for. So the reasoning behind all this, the programming is that Hornell has a growing Muslim population, and many people in our community might have questions about the Islamic religion. The program will also offer space for individuals to come and learn about Islam and the culture's difference from their own. This is an event coming up that I'm a big fan of, that they're going to do the bike safety for kids in Hornell for the police department on Thursday, June 20th at 5 p.m. So they're calling all young bicyclists. And so last year, Addie and I did this one together, and it was super fun. We had a really great time, and we actually did a community bike ride with it that was super fun. So the community bike ride is actually going to be on July 31st this year. So Those are two separate events. June 20th at 5 p.m. at the library in the back parking lot. Captain Sexsmith with the local police department, Hornell HPD, will be there, and he's going to teach kids how to safely ride your bike. And they do provide helmets for students or for kids at that if you don't have a helmet. So make sure you get down there and get yourself a helmet. And then, like I said, the community bike ride, we're definitely going to be pumping this one for a while because it's super fun. We did the community bike ride last year, and that is on July 31st. And so that was from Eba at the Hornell Public Library, and we're just kind of trying to shine a light on what they're doing. I did go to one of the Friends of the Hornell Public Library meeting, and they got some really great ideas coming up. I encourage anybody, if you'd like to join, get involved in community activity. That's one that could certainly use some volunteers.
And the helmets reminded me, and the bike ride reminded me, the Hornell Parent Teacher Organization, the PTO, just had a carnival last week, and they gave out 30 repaired bicycles, 2 brand new bicycles, and looked like from the photos, tons of great times there.
Was that the bicycle man Larry Pelkey working on?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Of the 30
I actually
rehab
am a
bikes.
recipient myself of one of Larry Pelkey's bikes.
Really?
Yeah, last year for that community bike ride, they did a raffle, and I won the raffle. I won a Trek, and so I've actually committed to giving him my old Schwinn. But it's still in the garage. It's buried back there.
A year later,
yeah, I'll get it to him. I think. He'll take them. So Larry, yeah, if you have old bikes, he just did this last weekend actually with what festival? HPG did a festival last weekend. I can't remember what it was, but he did. I think he gave away. He's given away hundreds of bikes in the last few years. So, he takes bikes, repairs them, and gives them away. Finds new homes for them. So
great.
That's a good thing. Good thing. Shout out to Larry.
Let's say one more thing that will be happening this summer, and again, maybe by the time you're watching this, starting June 6th, home games for the Hornell Steamers.
The boys are back in town.
Formerly the Dodgers, the Hornell Steamers. Their first home game is Thursday, June 6th versus the H.H.S. Hitmen, 7 p.m. They have probably 20 home games before the playoffs. That last one looks like it's Saturday, July 20th, also versus the H.H.S. Hitmen, but looks like they're playing Dansville, Salamanca, Genesee, Olean, Horseheads. Oh, good. Those are all the teams they're playing at.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's awesome.
June 6th, again, through July 20th. Tons of home games, and then hopefully playoffs to follow, but that's a great summer activity.
Really, it's a super fun thing to do with your family. There's a great environment there, the concession stands.
With under the lights right downtown, Maple City Park.
The Steamers themselves actually team up with the Hornell Public Library. Give them a double shout out there. So they do story time with the Steamers, and it's like baseball-themed books and like Mighty Casey struck out, and they do it like last year, I will share some photos. We did last year in the dugout.
Oh,
and
cool.
The home dugout is where story time takes place, and then they have baseballs for all the kids. No, it's on a Saturday morning. You go and you get to spend some time with the Steamers and the coaches, and
cool.
It's great. It's a good community thing. So I know on June 14th, the night of June 14th, I think I'll be with the Friends of the Library. I volunteered to go down there and check out at the Steamers game. They'll be, I think, giving away books or maybe.
I bet they've done that before.
Yep,
free books.
Good stuff. Get them books.
Well, awesome.
Read to them kids.
Dan, we're starting to wrap up here.
We are.
But we have a heartfelt special message before we go.
We certainly do. We want to give our deepest condolences and thoughts, prayers to the class of '98. They lost another member of their class last week. We'd like to remember Erin Hogan.
Yep, Erin Hogan, and thoughts to the Hogan family as well. But Erin was a year ahead of me in school then, class of '98. A bright, shining light in that class. She's always with a smile and friendly to everyone.
The spirit of the class.
Yep, free spirit and kind soul. So
yes, she was a wonderful person.
All her loved ones.
We're all luckier to have known her, and
we're going to look for some footage.
We're searching for it.
We'll
to
look
see if
for
we
that.
Can come up with something to squeeze in there. But that's a tough loss for everybody. I know that there was a lot of comments on Facebook of friends and even from my perspective, I haven't seen her in decades, right? And still hit just as hard.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. It takes you right back having memories of classmates.
I was much younger, and she was very cool to everyone. So she was real cool to us as when we were kids, and I'll never forget that.
So thank you guys for watching today. We are going to leave you with some more footage from inside the Rotunda. You've been watching Beyond the Rotunda with us again today. And as we wrap up, let's leave you with Steve Livingston, who we talked about already, and Rich Caruso giving some music reviews from the 90s. You're going to hear about some bands that are still alive.
Same bands I love still. Yeah.
Me too. So Pearl Jam, Bush, probably Nirvana, Rusted Root.
Yeah.
Yep. So enjoy, everybody. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again soon.
Peace.
Oh, and welcome to this week's Entertainment Report. I'm Steve.
And I'm Rich.
We're going to talk to you about some hot bands. At least we feel that they're hot, and we'd like to give you our feelings on them. So, first of all, I think we should start off with my favorite, and probably a lot of other people's, Silverchair.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Silverchair?
I like them a lot. I mean, you introduced me to them, so.
Well, I'd just like to say that Silverchair is a great band, but I feel that with Tomorrow being overplayed on the radio, that it's getting a lot of bandwagon people, and it's one of those songs that's a good song, but it's just getting a little annoying to hear every now and then. Next, why don't you pick a group?
I'd have to say Bush.
Bush, great new band.
See, I didn't get to go to their concert, so.
It was nice.
Was it?
Yeah, they mix their music well. It's not really anything in particular. It's hard at times. With the song Glycerine, I mean, they slow it down, and that's a real good song. You have any favorite songs by Bush? It's all good. Let's try Rusted Root. Everyone knows about the upcoming concert. When's the date on that?
December 7th.
7th. Where's that? Rochester War Memorial?
Yeah. If you need a ride, Dave Parker's getting a bus, so you can...
$43 price of ticket, and
ride up.
Gas and
tailgate party.
Just food. Rusted Root. Well, we don't need to say anything else about them. Filter. A lot of people might not be familiar with Filter, but they sing the song Hey Man, Nice Shot. And a lot of people think that's about Kurt Cobain, but actually it's not. They've had that song out for quite some time now, but it's just now being recognized. It's not about Kurt Cobain, everyone.
Sponge is our next group.
Sponge. Molly, we've all heard that song.
Yes, it's very nice.
That whole CD is good, actually.
I mosh to it.
Mosh. Yeah, you could say that. Next, we have everyone's favorite, Pearl Jam. Now, they're not coming out with really anything new, but I heard they are having a European tour starting in sometime soon, but it's Europe, so I don't imagine anyone around here will be going. So,
true.
Anyway, we can all get the imports and bootlegs and listen to that. I'm sure that's going to be a great show. And we're going to end with a band that's not together anymore because of a tragedy to the lead singer. You can take from here.
Nirvana.
Now, Plateau has been played way too much. That song just needs to be taken off the records, all of them. The earlier stuff's better, I think. Bleach, that was a good CD.
Mm-hmm. Such aside.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad.
What's that one song? We don't have time to think. But it's a good one. So, join us next time. Richard and I host the entertainment, which the schedule's pretty unpredictable, so we don't know when that will be. So, signing off, remember Silverchair Bush, Rusted Root, Filter Sponge, Pearl Jam, Nirvana, just some of the few and some of the many bands that we'll be discussing. So try to check them out, and let me give you one last tip. Spearhead. Check them out. Just take my word for it. Hey!